We have gathered here today in the presence of God to celebrate the marriage of Stephen Thomas Bentley and Siri Catherine Pedersen. Marriage is not the culmination of love, it is only the beginning. Stephen and Siri have not reached this point of new beginning on their own. They have been cared for by their families, depending on them for sustenance, knowledge, guidance, and love. Without them, this day would not be possible. Stephen, you're steadfast, patient, and reliable, and a bit more reserved. While Siri, you have a welcoming, outgoing spirit with a streak of adventure. But what was clear in literally each and every message I received was that your differences aren't a source of strife, they're a source of balance. Each of you uses your differences to help the other grow and become the best possible version of themselves, something that's made possible by a deep sense of mutual understanding. Over and over, people shared how the two of you are able to anticipate each other's needs, how you're so attuned to one another that when you're in conversation together, you always look deeply focused, like you're the only people in the room. Simply put, in the eyes of your friends and family, you two are partners, in the truest sense of the word. You've got a natural give and take, and each of you brings your own strengths to the table, so that when you face a goal together, nothing can stop you. Now that Siri and Stephen have given themselves to each other by solemn vows in the presence of their family and dear friends, with the joining of hands and the giving and receiving of rings, I now pronounce that they are husband and wife. Stephen, you may now kiss your bride. Introducing Mr. and Mrs. Stephen and Siri Bentley.
I have known Stephen for something like 24 years, since we were around 5 or 6. We went to school together for around 12 years. And you go through a lot in around 20 years of friendship. Lots of late night conversations about our deepest rooted insecurities, our anxieties, our worries. Something guys don't talk about that we call real talks. We've had beers in pubs in England, and we've had beers in dive bars in South Georgia. And then there's Georgia football and Georgia football. And I assure you, this will not be a typical best man speech where I come up here, drink a little bit too much, and talk about Stephen's ex-girlfriends. And that's for one reason, and one reason only. He does not have any. That really does tell you something about Stephen. He didn't want to settle for just anyone. He waited for the right woman. And Siri, that brings me to you. I have been lucky enough to spend time with you these past few years in Charlotte, and I'm so glad that you guys decided to move there. And that is one of the highlights of my life, that you guys decided to move there and live with us. You are funny, you're kind, you're welcoming, and you have a rambunctious spirit that we both know Stephen needs.
haven't met yet, I am Kelly, and I have the privilege of being the bride's older sister. When I was 2, and before Siri was born, my mom was giving me a bath, and she asked me, Kelly, do you think mommy is going to have a boy or a girl? I responded in disgust, I want a brother, but it is going to be a girl. And like always, I was right. "26 years later, I can honestly say that my sister is by far and away the coolest person I have ever met. She is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, honestly, look at her, it's ridiculous. She does speak quite a few languages: English, Spanish, a little Norwegian, some Russian, and most importantly, Shakira. And if that's not enough proof of her incredible intelligence, I submit as evidence that she has not 1, but 2 impressive degrees from a little school down the road from here. She is unbearably funny. If she didn't have the aforementioned degrees and could stand being the center of attention, I know she would kill it on SNL and put Kristen Wiig to shame. All this being said, when I used to think about the person that Siri Catherine would marry, naturally I knew he also had to be the best. Siri wouldn't settle for anyone that didn't rise up to meet her. She needs someone who can be the PK to her Shakira, who will beat her in a talking competition, who can take her smack talking the Clippers during the playoffs, and who will appreciate all that she is and all that she will become. Steven does all of this and more. He is gentle when she is loud, and can carry the conversation when she is quiet. He understands that the Spurs' race for Sace is priority numero uno, and accepts that he will always have to listen to the entirety of Como La Flor. He loves her quirks and appreciates her beauty. In the end, I couldn't think of a better person to marry my favorite one. And so, as it turns out, I'm glad the 2-year-old Kelly didn't get her wish, because if I had gotten a brother way back then, I wouldn't be getting one now. I guess you could say that I got the best of both. Here's to Steven and Siri on the beginning of a wonderful life together. I love you both to the moon and back. Copper boom, and cheers!
But when we started the planning of this event, we were in full lockdown. And it took somebody brave to really decide that we were going to do this and try to put this on at the time that we have. These two have really pushed forward and made it happen, despite the setbacks and the obstacles and the challenges. So they really showed a tremendous amount of bravery. And that topic of bravery is something I thought I would really explore with you guys here, since I do have the microphone and I've been told I can talk until it runs out of battery. Well, from a very young age, Siri showed a tremendous amount of bravery. She wasn't even 2 years old, I remember, and it was an Olympic year that year as well. And she used the armrest of the couch and did a flip off of it in front of horrified parents, landed comfortably on the floor, looked at us and said, "Shannon Miller on beat?" Later in life, Siri leaned on that experience when she once again showed how brave she is in taking the job that she now has at Wells Fargo. I know for sure that I would not have had the guts to step into a challenging career like she has without having a better understanding or a full understanding really of what's going to be required of us. But she's taking the opportunity that Eric gave her and used her ability for hard work and her aptitude for critical thinking and have become a highly recognized technologist in a very competitive environment. All I can say is, well done, Siri. You have surpassed my expectations long ago.
We grew legs first, till the color of sea, so long sweet comfort. Making landfall was hard, I love you. Are you thinking of me? If so, then me too. If you wake in sand all these boards down, we can place a house, make a drink, we can put it down, eating on the rocks. I'm no less confident, I just know less. When I think all of it coming down, I could be wrong.